turned around right. Hey y'all.
We're on our way back from Mayberry RFD, aka Mount Airy.
Mount Airy.
Mm-hmm.
We had our cookie and some half and half tea, but we were just talking about how things up there are
Slower.
slower, and it kind of takes you back in time when you go to some of the stores and stuff up there. So we just got to talking about it, and we were thinking like back probably when our grandparents were coming up, they made their own soap.
They made that live soap or goat soap.
Yeah. And I mean, they really.
And you know what? Most people didn't have cars back then. They had to walk everywhere.
They did. My daddy said he walked to school.
Or you had a horse and buggy, because our grandparents had horse and buggy.
Horse and buggy, and we don't go back that far, but that's all right.
But now, when we was little, people considered, you know, if you drove your car somewhere that was an hour away, that was a big trip.
It was a long trip.
It was a trip.
And my mom and daddy still do that.
Yeah.
But
well, my husband's still that way.
We had we went to Duncan Elementary, and they had the radiators in the classrooms.
Yep.
That was kind of old school.
And I went to Scott School,
and I'm sure it was the same.
It had the radiators in the classroom.
Oh, what about that pizza they used to have in the schools? That pizza was so good. I wish I knew somebody that knew how to make that pizza, and then peanut butter squares.
So, do y'all know anywhere where we can
Let
order
us
those
know.
pizzas?
We will order it. Yeah, now they do Super Donuts. Super Donuts is a big thing. I remember my kids liking Super Donuts.
My kids love Destiny, and Rhiannon buys those Super Donuts in the big case.
Oh, from Buy Right.
And Buy Right keeps them in their freezer.
And we kind of got off track a little bit, because that wasn't old school. That wasn't old school.
But that was something.
It was something. So.
And you know what? On Sunday, nobody worked, and the stores were closed.
Yeah, and you went to church, and after church you'd get together at, you know, Granny's house or Aunt and Uncle's house or whatever, and you would have something that Granny cooked from the night before. I guess. I mean, it just popped up out of somewhere, but that was some good cooking. A
lot of our families, after church on Sunday, they would get together and you would cook something together. You might just throw something together, you know, right there in the kitchen.
Oh, everybody together, yeah.
Just everybody together.
Yeah, that did happen. Oh gosh, turnip greens and cornbread.
Potluck. Potluck and cornbread.
And you know, I don't always remember having meats. Do you?
No.
Like it was a lot of time vegetables and just vegetables.
A lot of times pinto beans or black-eyed peas and stuff like that.
But there was a good old dessert.
Oh yeah.
Somewhere we had a
nice
good
coconut
dessert.
Cake or a chocolate cake.
And everybody would just sit around. I don't remember TVs being on.
No.
The
radios. My grandparents kept their radio on the AM station.
Oh, I remember the AM. And ours was WMYN. I do remember that.
The AM station.
So, and I mean, kind of just...
What would you like? Would you like to go back to times where, like, Walmarts and everything's closed on Sunday?
Yeah, it wouldn't bother me.
I would love it.
Because you know what? I don't do nothing on Sunday.
No, I don't do a lot either. Oh. We don't do a lot on Sunday.
Sunday is not a day that I get out and go anywhere and do... I mean... Unless there's something really important, I'm going to take it easy, because that's the way we was raised.
It was great.
Yeah, we were raised to do that. So, and I mean, it would be like, it would be going back in time, and I know some things would be difficult for us, like the Johnny houses. That would be hard.
I'm going to keep a toilet.
Yeah.
I'd say we keep a toilet, and I love my bidet. You know, it cleans my butt after I poop, and I want to keep it. I want to keep
My
it.
grandkids have a bidet too.
I love it. Okay. And when I had to have a colonoscopy, that was the best thing ever.
I bet it did work good. I bet that did work good.
And if they put in a Johnny house, I need to figure out a way to have a bidet in it.
I'm not sure about that. Hey, it can be done probably. And when we were talking too about weddings, like
yes,
back then you didn't spend $10,000, $20,000 on a wedding and have to cater it for everybody. People brought stuff to you. They would bring
your flowers.
Yes, the aunts and cousins and all the women would get together and
bring their fanciest tablecloth.
Yeah.
Make their best dish that they were known in the family for making and show up, and you'd pick somebody's yard or a church, and you'd have you a little wedding, and so your basic thing was worrying about what you was going to wear.
Right,
and,
which wouldn't no $5,000, $10,000 dress.
Because that money, you needed to keep your money to have a home.
Yeah, no, not even a honeymoon. You didn't have honeymoons. A lot of people didn't
get a honeymoon. A lot of people didn't.
I was never like big on honeymoons anyway. I think, what's the point? I mean, go on vacation and I'm almost like the big weddings. Don't waste that money on that big wedding. Put it on a house.
Yeah,
put it on appliances that you need when you get in that new house. So
I loved hearing people's stories about their weddings and how everybody in the family and the community kicked in and showed up with food and drinks.
Yeah.
And had a big and music. People had music or played music, and they just celebrated all evening, all day.
Yep.
And the bride and groom didn't have to spend all that money.
That was the way it should. That's the way it should be now. I don't know. I wonder. We need to research this and see where down the line did we have to start having big fancy weddings and stuff.
When did it become the normal thing for people to have a $10,000 or $15,000
Did your mom
wedding?
and daddy have a big wedding?
No, they had a small little wedding in Powder Hall Presbyterian Church, and Mama wore a pretty blue dress, and Daddy wore a suit and not like a black suit or anything, just like a button-up shirt and a suit jacket and some dress pants, and everybody in the family helped with flowers and food. So it was cheaper.
We went to the Justice of the Peace on my second wedding, the right wedding. We went to the Justice of the Peace with the right man. We went to the Justice of the Peace, and the magistrate. It was the magistrate at the courthouse in Danbury.
Yes. Yep.
We went there, and when we got done, I'm like, okay, what are we doing? He said, well, I'll tell you what. We'll go on over to the berry patch and get us something to eat, which is about 10 minutes down the road. We went to the berry patch and got our food, and we come home, and that's all we did, which we did have our annual beach trip a couple of weeks later, but that was fine with me.
You had something planned for 2 weeks later.
That was fine with me. I didn't care if I had nothing more. It ain't about that. It's about getting married to somebody that hopefully you're going to be with the rest of your life.
Well, we got married at the preacher's house in Gatlinburg. It cost $99.
See?
I did get me a dress to wear that maybe cost me $25.
Yeah. I wouldn't get no dress.
And Ken got him a pair of gray dress pants and a white button-up shirt, and that might have cost him $50.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
Y'all bougie. Y'all was too bougie for me doing
That's
that.
What we did. I did have a veil. I did have a little cheap $10 veil that I clipped in at the back of my hair.
Yeah.
And that was that. And then we spent the next 5 days right there in Gatlinburg in a honeymoon cabin with one of them big heart-shaped whirlpool tubs. And we had a good time.
It's simple and
$99 at the preacher's house, standing in a gazebo.
And you know what else? Back in the day, when somebody would die, they would set up with them all night long.
They'd bring them home too.
Bring them home, and I hadn't seen that done in a long, probably since Granny died.
Yeah,
we brought her home.
When your granny died, she was brought home. And now when my Papa Lynn died, they did take the body right to the church, to Wilson Primitive Baptist, and the members of the church set up the body for the nights that it was there. Yeah. They just took turns just staying there setting up with the body. They had them big coffee makers and stuff, and they just took turns coming in. They'd spend a few hours, and the next person would come in and spend a few hours.
I love that. That was nice. That was a simple life.
You just stay right with the body.
Yeah.
Until it's time to bury.
That's kind of a few things they used to do back in the day, and I don't know. We had fun today, and we were just talking about the old times. And
I'm saying closing Walmart's down on Sunday.
I mean, they hardly close down on holidays now.
Right.
And we used to get, even back when we were working, we would get a week off for Christmas, and we get a week off on July 4th. And they don't even do that now. Most companies don't even do that now. They don't even reserve. I mean, it's like one day they'll give you for holidays.
Now, I'm kind of okay with that because I like picking my own vacation week. I don't want them to tell me when I have to go on vacation.
Well, I mean, I'm thinking give us that in our vacation that we earned.
You know,
we earned it.
That on 4th of July.
No.
In the big crowd or wherever. I'm good with not doing that.
No, we don't want to do that. That's terrible.
And Ferris Park is raising money. The people, Cesar at Ferris Park is raising money because they're trying to get fireworks brought back to Ferris Park.
They need to. They hadn't had that in years, and that was something a lot of people look forward to.
Y'all, they need $25,000. If they can't get the full amount this year, they're going to keep raising and try to shoot for 2025. But if they can get the full amount this year, they're going to have fireworks that are free to families and everything up there. And they're going to have rides and food and do the whole carnival thing for the 4th of July. So if anybody wants to give any money to Ferris Park, you need to contact them, and maybe they'll do a thing this year in Medan.
That would be nice. It would be nice for our kids to see what we got to experience
that's what we
going
did
up there every year.
Yep.
Yeah, run on up there and watch
And it got so
fireworks.
expensive that the town couldn't afford it. So
Yeah. I don't know where all that lottery money and stuff's going. They should be
I'm trying to
having
figure
it.
that
We're
out
trying to
too.
figure
We got
that
the
out.
lottery at NC now, and I'm not
Supposed to
able,
be for the schools and whatnot. Now they're tearing schools down.
tearing schools down, and teachers are still having to buy supplies. And I want to know what's happening. What's happening?
Yeah.
What's
Well,
happening?
we're going to get off here, and we just want to talk about some old times. And we
bring
will
back Lazy Sunday. We want to bring back
Lazy Sunday.
where you spend it with your family and everybody cooks and has potluck and just sits around and talks under the shade tree.
And Uncle Cletus will be blowing in that jug.
He will. You got that right.
we didn't.
Guitars, banjos, jugs, the old-timey country music on the radio.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
Sitting outside under the tree and swinging and
Bring it on.
The kids did not set up your butt.
They played. They didn't sit on the daggone tablets.
That's right. They got outside and played, and they didn't listen to everything that these grown folks was talking about. They didn't need to hear that, and they don't nowadays, in my opinion. I don't think they need to hear adult conversation.
Right.
It's too much.
Children, they need to get out and get dirty. That's what being a child's about.
Dig in the mud, make mud pies.
Pick up snails and turtles and do things.
Yeah.
Get sprayed by skunks.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. We're going to end this, and we will talk at y'all later. Bye.